Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back. We're here with another Napoleonic showdown for you here today, and another historical battle as we recreate the Battle of Linz. Urfahr, I think is how you say it. I'm probably butchering the name as usual, but yeah, the Battle of Linz Urfahr, fought in 1809 between the Austrians, of course, as they're always the main sort of players in the 1809 sort of campaigns, against a combination of Wurttemberg and Saxony. So this is a yeah, an interesting battle, that's for sure. One where France again doesn't really play much of a feature. The battle is the commanders do include a French commander, the most famous being Bernadotte, and Van Damme is also there. He's leading the Wurttemberg forces as a Frenchman, and they're going up against Colorad, who we have here today about 4 times. I think we have 4 Colorad corps. I think we then have I think we have 1 Bernadotte and then 3 Van Dammes, if I'm correct. So we have quite a lot of Wurttembergs. So yeah, we have 1. That's the second one there, I think, and then a third one way off over here. So yeah, we have 3 Wurttemberg armies in this one. So yeah, a lot of Wurttemberg troops. They're pretty solid. They've got a lot of light infantry that they can really use and could shoot off. And then way off over on that far side over there, we do have Bernadotte, who's coming in from the flank. Historically, this is a French or a German victory. You could say an imperial victory. Yeah, in history, the basically the Austrians make to simplify it, the Austrians basically attack the Wurttemberg forces here, dead ahead of them, and then Bernadotte kind of comes swinging from the right flank, which is going to do here. Well, the Austrian right, the French and Imperial left, and he's going to swing in, and he basically just destroys the Austrian lines. So he works his way down them. So we'll see whether that happens here again today. It's be hard to say because, like using Bernadotte here, we have a Saxon corps rather than maybe like a Saxon plus French. I think there are French in that corps available, but I don't know how many really. But yeah, the so like this battle is just after the Battle of Eckmühl. If you're sort of like looking for when this is taking place, and this army sort of led by Colorad is sent into Bohemia to basically sort of cause to defend Bohemia, and then a potential to invade Saxony. And sort of, you know, cause some upset there and maybe draw some forces from Napoleon's way to defend Saxony. So yeah, so that's kind of like that's kind of how this battle sort of comes about, because Bernadotte, along with Van Damme, like lead some German states to basically defend Saxony instead, because yeah, Jerome Bonaparte also orders his Kingdom of Westphalia army to also join in the defense of sort of Saxony. We've done a few of those battles as well where Westphalia is present and then they've gone on to lose and stuff like that, because yes, this is where the Black Brunswick has also kind of come about from, the Duke of Brunswick also getting involved and basically and yeah, competing as well. Which, if you don't know about Black Brunswick, is very, very cool. Basically a unit that they serve with the Austrian army from Brunswick, obviously, and led by the Duke of Brunswick. And they basically, after the defeat and sort of peace treaty of Austria in 1809, they decided to then fight their way across Germany to get to a friendly port in like Hanover. I think was the one that they picked in the end, and like get out from like sort of like the Hanover sort of area around there of Germany, and then they got to Britain, and then they went on to serve in like the British Army, but then landed in 1809 in Flanders. Yeah, it's quite a cool story. I thought it's a bit like the it's like the Napoleonic version of the March of the 10,000. Yeah, very, very cool. But yeah, so Linz Urfahr, it's quite a small battle really. I mean, it's, in comparison to other ones, I mean, there's still several tens of thousands of troops. It's about 20,000, 15 to 20,000 Austrians, about 10 to 18,000 French and allied Germans. So yeah, in history, fairly evenly matched, you would say. And here are the Wurttemberg boys. We've got some of their line infantry here, setting up in their pinks and blues. The Germans like their pinks and blues, so the Bavarians also kind of got that similar sort of combo going on as well, and the similar sort of style of hat as well, or shako, I should say. But yeah, you can see the Austrians here. They are pewing around, trying to do some damage here to the Wurttemberg forces, trying to get in and around behind them. The objectives of this game, I'll get the map up actually, so we stop whittering on them. We'll open it up. Is to take this this point here, which I can't remember. See, Kleinbergen or something like that. Kleinbergen, and then the other one to take is over here, which is Kaha. So they've got to take these 2 points to represent sort of, I guess, just taking a few strong points basically. The Wurttemberg line was sort of centered around a few hamlets. So these are the hamlets that they're having to defend here today. This is the Lutzen map, but it works quite well for this one at least, with spawns and also just again with geography, quite similar to sort of to Saxony. I mean, the Lutzen is sort of fought in that's sort of like southern Germany later down the line, a bit like this one is being fought itself. So not too dissimilar, you'd imagine. But anyway, lines here from Wurttemberg are getting battered. I think that's from the Austrian artillery over there, 5-pounders. They are blasting away right now. Looks like Wurttemberg is preparing to do the same. They've got a nice little line set up here in the forest that you can see. They're going to try and blast, and yeah, they are trying to take some chunks out of these German infantry here. These German infantry that won't for long be wearing these helmets. They'll be changing. That's something I learned reading about the HRE. The 1809, you see sort of like the change from like the metal helmet to more like the shako that everyone else is wearing universally. Just for cost, it's quite expensive to kit every single guy out here with this sort of like what I describe as quite a fireman looking helmet. Yes, over here it looks like again more light infantry. Yet to see, oh here we go. Yet to see any of these light infantry that Wurttemberg's kind of famed for, but these are definitely some lights, I'd imagine. And these definitely are. These are, I think, like the really good ones. These guys in green. Oh, the officer died. Oh, rip in peace to him. These neat guys need to start blasting. They do. We've also got a horse artillery setting up here, which is going to be effective. Can do a lot of damage here to the line. But the problem is Austria is flanking in behind. If they keep moving Austria, yeah, then I was going to say that position from Wurttemberg is pretty untenable, and they're already giving ground there. And looks like we've got a cav charge going in here. We've got yeah, Wurttemberg cav going in, trying to charge the Austrian infantry here, and actually failed to take that fight there. And Austria getting his Uhlans as well in behind. I guess that probably helped break them as well. And they're now running into them. And Ingo Uhlans again. What are they routing? Don't know. Not quite sure what they're routing. Something in there. Might have got the guns potentially. Oh gosh. We've got Wurttemberg Dragoons in here now. Pretty solid unit. Don't know why we haven't got combat noises, but we don't. And I'd imagine, yeah, it looks like that's a routing Dragoon. They just charge into a massive infantry there. They've routed a few of these Austrian infantry here and there, but nothing too substantial. I think they were trying to go for guns and things like that with the Austrians, but I had no joy there. And then, oh my gosh. Move from one side and then lose out on another. Uhlans are getting jumped by looks of it by another, looks like another light cav there for Wurttemberg, and they managed to rout the Uhlans there. So some success, I guess, there in getting rid of that Uhlan. And over on this side here, my gosh, we've missed quite a bit. But wow, look at that. You got Saxony coming in, and they are doing a lot of damage actually. The Saxony looks like they've had a bit of a cav fight, infantry fight there, and they have managed to win that. We're going to move back down the line, go and see what's going on, because it is a very intense fight here. Looks like over on the other flank, looks like Saxony, Austria has managed to rout some of the Wurttemberg cav there. Good for them. Looks like Wurttemberg still trying to get himself into position on that flank there. But yeah, Saxony getting into position, causing a few problems there already historically. Yeah, kind of jumping on the Austrians, do yeah, some serious damage. Got some very good grenadiers there, by the way. They're already just trying to get rid of these squares here. But yeah, it looks like this is just part. I didn't realize the Austrian line came out this far. But it has. It's really moving out. I mean, the Austrians are tucking in now. I think they might have sent some troops out just to maybe, you know, slow down the Saxon advance, and instead they just got themselves slapped by Saxon. Saxon can bring cuirassiers with some heavy, so that's obviously something that they're looking to maybe bring. Back over on this side, it looks like, I was going to say another cav fight, but it looks like, I think, yeah, the Wurttemberg cav just returned. The that the Austrians had already routed here. So yeah, Colorado making sure that stays gone. Yeah, now, I mean, we just need to see a general advance here in the center from the Austrians. Austrians are engaging pretty steadily here. It looks like, yeah, more of their infantry still routing from the forest, maybe. They occupy the tree line now, the Austrians, and with their shooting stats as well, it's kind of what they want to do. They should be able to, you know, take advantage of that. And still, look at this. Their guns getting taken out there by the Saxons. Saxon Hussar by the looks of it, and they're going to go in for a charge into some Uhlans. And I'd imagine that the Saxons are going to lose this one. Uhlans on a bit of a charge kind of can do okay. And actually the Uhlans did lose that one, but a secondary charge here from a second Uhlan unit is going to get rid of the Saxon camp there once and for all. Yeah, the Saxons are just marching on up. Loads of columns here. Just trying to get back into, get their side back into this fight. Got some Chevaliers here. And yeah, Grenadiers and stuff like that. They've got some good units, you know, really good units. And more Chevaliers here. I think their Chevaliers are pretty solid. I don't know if they brought any Cuirassiers today. I guess we'll find out. They are available in their roster. But yes, if you want to get involved or send in any of your own replays to feature on the channel, a bit like this one is here today, then do send it into my Discord. The link is down below in the description. You're more than welcome to send in anything, whether it's yeah, NTW3, whether it's Rome 2, Attila, or whatever. But yeah, this was a battle we did on the stream not too long ago, maybe like a month or so ago. And yeah, it was a pretty fun one. Something a little bit different, that's for sure. Certainly less French, which is always makes a nice change, you know, from just seeing the same old cores. Seeing some very different cores. I don't often see Colorado as a core for the Austrians, and also don't often see Wurttemberg and on that Saxon core, to be honest, either, as well, from Bernadotte. These boys need to, yeah, pull back and some places here. They look like they were over, like, outflanking their own, well, not outflanking, but, you know, overlapping with their own troops. That's the word I'm looking for. A lot of unit crossing going on here as units are getting sent into this building to try and, I think, reclaim it, or at least maybe still contest it with the Austrians there. I think the Wurttemberg maybe still does hold it for now, but this is obviously one of the objectives that they've got to hold. I mean, redlining troops here. I think, yeah, the Austrians are still sending boys in. They're redlining though as well. Austrians, I can't imagine, are going to be all too good at a bit of a melee, but you never know. Jaeger's going to, I think he's just going up to support here. There's a lot of units that stood on top of each other. Can't really allow that to happen, because that's just going to allow for easy targets here. Austria needs to be careful, because, yeah, there's cavalry just getting in behind, and there you go. I think that is Austria occupying the building. I could be wrong with it. It looks like they're still competing for it. And it looks like, yeah, the Schutzen there getting scaring off the cavalry there, making sure they stay gone. And here we go, in advance from Wurttemberg. They're trying to get into a firing range against the Austrians here. Austrians kind of pushing out of the safety of their tree line. Pretty brutal line fight going on here between the Austrians. There you go, the building's fallen. Wurttemberg has retaken the building. They're going to need something, you know, that's going to have some hitting power to actually take and hold that building. Sort of like a grenadier. But I don't think Colorado has any of those available in his core. It's not a grenadier, it's a core. It's just a lot of infantry and a bit of cavalry. Is kind of his vibe. And there you go, in goes Wurttemberg. They've gone into melee down here. Don't think they're going to win that. Wurttemberg again, don't think they're notorious for being melee experts. And he only sent one in, really. It's a bit of a rogue choice, and didn't really support it with a line fight either. And yeah, I mean, they got him to orange morale, but yeah, nothing too insane. And here comes Saxony now. Saxony coming down this wing here. He's going to come down this road, and he's going to go right in behind the Austrian line here. And there's nothing really for the Austrians to do. They're shifting over reserves by the looks of it. So we've got a couple of battalions here, or regiments shifting over. We've got the Karl Legion sending over some squarables, which could be handy as well. Still, the Austrians are being bled dry trying to take the building. And it looks like, yeah, Wurttemberg trying to fight outside the building as well. I'd just shoot the Austrians as they mill about there. Just blast. Don't try and melee them yourselves, because you're not much better at meleeing as Wurttemberg. The line is starting to crumble, as you can see here. We've got routing troops, orange lining guys as well. And yeah, I think the overwhelming numbers here of the Austrians is just a little too much for these sharp shooting Wurttemberg troops. They kind of want to be a bit further at range. They want to kind of give ground, so they're not just getting blasted at close range. But here we go, Wurttemberg going in. He's sick and tired of this attack. He maybe should have done this a little earlier, once the line was actually, while the lines were still engaging. This could have been devastating, because the troops would have been distracted. And looks like we're going to see another Wurttemberg cav come forward here as well. Another, like, looks like a dragoon or some sort coming in. And there you go, Austrians routing here. Could cause a bit of a mass rout. That one should rout as well. Yeah, it looks like Wurttemberg is kind of doing a bit of a nice counter-offensive here. Going to get rid of, looks like some schuts in there. Cavalry, though, being counter-charged here by Uhlans as they try to deal with the infantry here. I mean, this would have been great if Wurttemberg had more infantry to send up, but yeah, he dallied, you could say, on this cavalry arriving with his own infantry just getting mauled. The other building, I think, is still yet to be taken. The Wurttemberg troops still holding it. Looks like Austria is now assaulting, but Austria's moved past it as well. It's got a few troops defending it, but yeah, Austria just needs to keep moving on and challenging the Wurttemberg troops there. There you go. Not Saxony. Austria has routed Wurttemberg. Saxony is arriving, though, as you can see here, arriving en masse with his cavalry. I guess it's just to countercharge any Austrian counterattack. And here comes the Saxons out of the woods, meleeing with Austria. Again, I wouldn't say they're really that great as a melee faction, Saxony, at least not with their normal line infantry. You can see Wurttemberg here, and I think a combination of Saxony, they are scaring the Austrians as well, getting them back. And yeah, Austria right now in a little bit of a tight spot. Certainly this corner here of their line is a bit problematic. You can see more Austrians now shifting over to deal with the Saxon left. And yeah, Austrian cav just here in the back lines. They need to forcing units to form square, which is great. But I don't think all these guys can form square. They just keep marching on, so they should really just charge in and deal with these guys. I mean, there's a general there that's very much open for taking out as well. A lot of cavs still milling about back here for Saxony and for Wurttemberg. And here we go. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Saxons managed to rout that one Austrian. And moving down the road, they can catch the Austrians before they set up into a line fight. Then they could probably, you know, get these guys. And these are big, healthy units, 185-man units. They also could just keep marching forward and catch them while the troops are routing in front of the Austrians. They're not going to get blasted. But actually, instead they're routing friendlies well. And this would be a good corner point to assault as well if you're either Saxony or Wurttemberg, like this corner here. These guys, certainly this one here on the side, not really getting cover. I think Austria's now looking to rectify that. Yeah, it looks like Wurttemberg here just getting routed by Austrian troops as they force their way back. A lot of cav still out here though for Colorado, which is really good. The left is looking very healthy for cav. Right, I think there's the cav in behind as well, Uhlans. So I think Saxony's gonna have to be aware of that. It looks like we're gonna go for a charge. Uhlans right in the middle of the line here. What is going on? Those boys are gonna get blasted now by Saxon infantry. Still plenty of Saxon infantry as well milling around. Looks like they're going out to the left maybe, because Austria is wanting to stretch the battlefield, using his numbers to stretch them, which I don't blame them. Wurttemberg still very much in the game. I mean, I think that's a combination of one, maybe two armies there. I think one of the armies is pretty much gone. It got mauled in the center here for quite a while. I mean, if the Austrians wanted to, they could try and just charge onto these Wurttemberg troops here and just see what can and can't form square. It's caused a bit of havoc while they're still trying to set up their lines. Austria needs to swing these guys around. They're not really doing anything now. They need to swing around and sort of unite up. Chevaliers and Uhlans here just flanking around. I think they're just looking for options, whether they're trying to support against the Saxons potentially, try and get cav in support against them. Got Chevaliers here shifting around. Yeah, still very healthy. And they're scaring off those Uhlans very easily, though. There's still, yeah, packs a punch to this force here. I mean, with those grenadiers, and then also the Chevaliers, they can, yeah, they'll pack a punch. They'll hit something hard. And I think they're going to try and go for the line here. There's a general just behind, but it looks like, yeah, Saxony's getting ready. He's going to go straight on in with his cav, potentially. No, he thought about it, I think, for a moment. Austrians here just need to get a move on. Keep moving. Keep marching. They're holding a nice tree line now with the German miners here. Blasting away. I can't imagine the Austrians are winning these fights here. Losing slightly. Winning slightly? Yeah, fair enough. I think a few mixed bag, I think, of winning and losing. But look at that, Austrians are so far in behind now. Yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty interesting fight. I mean, both sides, we kind of missed this bit over here, but early wins for the Saxons there. And then the Saxons have kind of come in with Wurttemberg and sort of pushed back the Austrians a little bit. Austria, though, has had pretty overwhelming success on the left and sort of partly in the center as well. And they still got a good amount of numbers, but there's always, you know, the belief that a Saxon mass rout is potential here. If the Saxon cav and maybe the Saxon grenadiers could lead the way on that, maybe that's I feel like the belief. The Wurttembergs, I feel like, you know, going to be shooting. They're going to be able to deal with the Saxons, so with the Austrians on that front, try and shoot their way through. Also, if anyone gets general, whether that's yeah, an Austrian general killed off or a Saxon or a Wurttemberg general is killed off, I think that will kind of decide the fate of the battle a little bit, because right now, yeah, the Wurttemberg forces are digging themselves into what looks like a pretty dense tree line here. I mean, they're still getting outflanked, sort of. The guys on the edge of this tree line here are going to need to turn about as more and more Austrians arrive. Don't think Saxony's going to be making any pushes now by the looks of it. They don't look like they're too keen. And here's some Frenchies. Frenchy boys serving with the Saxon army. Still can't get rid of them. Some more grenadiers there as well. So yeah, there are certainly one or two big hitters here in this Saxon army. They have the cuirassier. That would also be quite scary. Yeah, it looks like the Wurttemberg forces here. I mean, they're getting shot at by multiple angles now, I think. Even though they're pretty decent shooters, I don't know if they're going to have enough to get through all these Saxons. I mean, yeah, look at this second line of Saxons now arriving. So Austrians now arriving. Don't know why I'm really struggling with these three names. I'm intermingling the three, but I am. And here you go in the back lines. We've got a charge there. Looks like Colorado was not ready with his Chevaliers and his Uhlans, and he's got himself routed there. By the Saxon cav, and one of the Saxon cav did rout, which is lucky there for the Austrians. But another big loss there in cavalry that really shouldn't have really come about. Did not need to happen. It looks like we've got more Chevaliers. I mean, we've still got plenty of cav by the looks of it. Chevaliers, Uhlans here. If the Uhlans got a bit of a charge, they would have probably been fine. They just, because it got jumped, just kind of being in motion and moving from A to B. There you go, Wurttemberg still falling back. This unrelenting fire right now coming in. I mean, these are relatively healthy Jaeger regiments here. So they're, yeah, all light infantry able to blast their way through sort of these lines of Wurttemberg troops. And I think also with routing troops around them, it's not helping as well as morale. I'm about to see some artillery though, I think, set up here. At least, I can see gun carriages, but I don't know if I can see any guns. Oh no, they're here. Yeah, the guns are just absolutely, like, hidden. That's an insane hidden position there. That is going to be putting some holes into those Austrians hopefully very soon. I mean, yeah, it's going to be pretty dangerous for the Austrians to just kind of march on ahead. Just march these Wurttemberg troops here. They kind of rely on the left here to wrap around, do most of the work. And then over on the right, it looks like we have a bit of a line fight and maybe a bayonet charge here about to take place. Here we go. Saxons going in. Looks like they got their grenadiers to support them. The charge of the Saxons. They have kind of been the big scary boss of today's game a little bit. Some of those French troops going in as well. No cav though to really support them, and we've got the grenadiers. I think they're here for inspires potentially. Oh jeez, those poor Saxons get blasted as they come in. Yeah, they're routing before they even get there. That is devastating. And here comes that Ulan from the flank for the Austrians. That's routing some reinforcements, and it might get the general now. And I think that might be Saxony, to be honest, in a way. I mean, they threw a lot there. It was a risky play. Hadn't got their cavalry yet ready up in support. Wurttemberg sending his own cav here to try and get these guns that are setting up to try and save his lines from being shelled from the artillery at close range. Ulan seems to have saved the day there. Whether it's technically a unit cross just running through their own guns there, potentially I would say so. Yeah, the guns weren't set up, so I don't know. I don't know what the ruling is on that. Grenadiers here still in the fight, but I don't think for long this is going to get side shot here from Jaegers. And they'll kill a few friends and a few foes here. Here we go, second wave of the Saxons with cav this time. They're going to give it a go. This might work. I mean, I don't think any of these guys can form square. Yeah, we're going to have some Saxons back them up. There you go. Yeah, the Grenadiers break here, but yeah, more and more Saxon going in. I think this player is giving it his all now rather than later. And Saxon cav there. Yeah, it did break through actually. Cavalry here on the flank for the Austrians need to just flank in as well. But yeah, the Austrians, look at that sort of V they got going on around that forest. That is pretty nasty there. Where are those like elite Grenadiers? They're still yet to get into the fight. Yeah, I'm breaking through a fair amount of Austrians here. It's not enough. There's just always another line. Kind of part of the problem. There's another Chevalier Guerre. I mean, I'd send the Chevalier Guerre and just go for it. I mean, I think the Saxon player is aware of the caravan behind, which is just by not committing is, you know, forcing the Saxons maybe not to throw all their cav in just one Hail Mary. That might make the difference. I mean, also these stakes here that have been set up by Austria is kind of nullifying where the Saxons can throw their cav in. And there you go. I think the Saxon line's kind of breaking a little bit here. We're going to see the elite Grenadiers go in. Going into those light infantry there, I think they are. I think they're lights. L5s, yeah, that would say. It suggests yes. And there you go, General dead. Who's died there? Someone's in there, basically, just died. Not sure whose. Someone. And there you go, Saxons slowly getting wiped off the field by the looks of it here. They did a pretty good job. I mean, they kind of ran their race. I feel like the Saxons a little bit. There you go, another general gone. Somewhere in there. It's the Wurttemberg force. I mean, they were just good at getting charged. Basically what happened was the Austrians here set up and they just kind of just melee charged, just ran in. Not really much to show. It's in a forest. It's not exactly easy to show. But yeah, that is pretty much going to be GG, and it's going to be a history change as Conrad here defeats the forces of Wurttemberg and also Saxony. So yeah, not a bad result there for the Austrians. I mean, I don't think there was much in the way of mistakes. I think there's a few newer players. Certainly, there's one on the Austrian side, and there's one on certainly one I think on the Wurttemberg side as well. I can't remember the exact like who was playing on what. But yes, it was going to be a tough one, that's for sure. Certainly, like maybe the for balancing a little bit more, maybe could have added a French core of some sort, maybe just to add a little bit of a bit more beef, a bit more mass, maybe. But yeah, it was going to always be a tough one. But there you go. I think literally at the last second there we had another general being killed off. But the end result should be on your screen as well for you to admire and enjoy to look at. But yeah, I was playing in this one. can't really remember how well I did. I think I was out on the far left, so I kind of was like swung in really late and so kind of was late to the party when it came for kills. But yeah, well done to everyone that took part. Like I said, the Saxons, Wurttemberg, it was going to be a tough ask. Certainly, like these German miners, they do okay as great supports for the French, but when you have like scenarios and battles where it's just them, it's pretty tough. I think points-wise, it was identical in points. But I think this Colorap for a 7 is actually pretty handy. You can bring a pretty large force. Lacking in cav, but you can bring a lot of infantry for your money, to be honest. But yeah, you say it, but it can't really. There's a few squares, but not masses, so it's very vulnerable to a cav charge, which we saw a little bit with the Saxons and the Wurttemberg forces, managing to get a few cav charges off. They semi-effective. But yeah, we'll have a quick look at some of the unit stats. Oh gosh, some of my infantry, these are surely farming. I think 294 kills. Ulan's getting 230. Also, yeah, might have been, to be honest, once they charged into the forest, who knows what kills they got. 170, 154, that's a bit more believable. 145, 134, 116. Yeah, I think a few of those might have been farmed at the end there just to make sure they stayed dead. But yeah, those are all my kills there from that game. I hope you guys did enjoy the Battle of Linz and Urfahr. It was a okay one. It was certainly, I would say, not one of the closer ones we've done, but it's one that I don't think we'll redo because I don't think many people enjoy playing Wurttemberg and Saxony when they're all on their own without any French support. But yeah, still a fun one. If you did enjoy and want to see more, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. And I'll see you folks in the next NTW3 battle. Bye for now.